What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we are now 240 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And who knows? Maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a Piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 85% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be down in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be down in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this: which of the three new archetypes are you guys looking forward to playing when Crossover Breakers gets released? Let me know down in the comments below. And for today's video, we're going to be talking about the third and final archetype that will be in Crossover Breakers, known as the Apodrakosis archetype, which I believe, which is actually kind of an interesting deck, to say the very least. So this is off of, obviously, YG organization. Big shout outs to them. They have a note here that actually is a pretty long one, but it says here, we previously called this theme Longhua, which is the Chinese reading of the characters for Ryuge, unsure of the exact name concept, but aware it was themed on Romance of the Three Kingdoms due to three factions wearing to become the top dog. With further information, we decided to go with a much clearer name, aware of the concepts Konami was likely trying to convey. We went with Apodrakosis to reflect the theme's name is a play on Sublimation Ascension. Basically, Apotheosis and Draco is the theme concept introduced by Konami on Yu-Gi-Oh.jp. Explained it as themes are dragon, like ascending to being an outright dragon. Notably, China heavily connects the Emperor to a dragon, which explains why its dragon-like things that aren't quite dragons as they have not taken the throne. Each main deck uses its type name and a word that has the Chinese word for dragon as part of its radical, a portion of the character in question. So basically it's what this is a this is actually a ritual based deck, and honestly, I'm gonna show you the three monster cards, the three main deck cards, and I'm being real. They actually look like some of the legendary Pokemon from I think from the Ruby and Sapphire series. So they do have some sort of resemblance to Pokemon, which is actually kind of hilarious. But I believe there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 brand new cards, and then there's 5 reprints that will be in this set. So I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm just gonna get straight into it because this is gonna be one hell of a video to bring up. So first one up, as I am trying to scroll down a little bit. There we go. So first one up is known as Kaiba Rugged Apodrakosis of Dino Crag, which it legit kind of looks like Groudon a little bit. It literally resembles Groudon, which is pretty crazy. But it is a 10-star Earth Dino with 3,000 attack, 1,200 defense, and it says that all 3 of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads you can shuffle this card from your hand into the deck, add 1 Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Dino Crag from your deck to your hand, which I believe this is the field spell. I believe this is the field spell for the entire deck. No. And no, it is actually the continuous spell for the deck, which I will bring up here in just a minute. So with this effect, it's basically spell rota. Not much else to say about that. And it does come as a 1-for-1, which is pretty cool. So you're basically, in a way, you're unbreaking your hands by shuffling it back into your deck, which is not bad. But the card in question, it could very may well get hit with an Ash Blossom, so you gotta always have multiple hand traps on standby. Second effect reads, during the main phase, if 2 or more cards were destroyed this turn as a quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Third effect reads, you can place 1 face-up Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Dino Crag you control to the bottom of the deck, then target other cards on the field up to the number of types among monsters on the field, destroy them. So this is a really cool Raigeki Harpy's Feather Duster, if you will, where you can literally break your opponent's entire board just as long as you are somehow able to bypass all of your opponent's monster's effects, which include built-in omni negates, disruptions, whatever they may have at their disposal. If you're able to bypass them, you can essentially just damn near wipe their board clean, and you're just off to the races from there, which is pretty damn cool. Next up, we have Yanaba, Abyssal Apodrakosis of Serpentfall, which in a way it kind of looks like it actually bears a resemblance to I think what is it, Kyogre, I think. Yeah, in my opinion, it kind of resembles Kyogre just a little bit, but not by much. But not by much. But it is a 10-star Water Sea Serpent with 3,000 attack, 2,000 defense, and all three of its effects are once per turn. I believe the first effect is exactly the same, but they're a bit different from one another. I believe Kaiba lets you shuffle itself back into the deck to add Ascension Gate of Dino-Crag to your hand. This one's first effect reads you can discard this card, add one Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Serpent Fall from your deck to your hand. This card again truly comes as a 1-for-1, which is pretty cool. The second effect reads during your main phase, if two or more monsters other than this card were sent from the hand and or deck to the grave this turn, special summon this card from your graveyard. So this is pretty cool. So this is actually kind of cool because the second effect actually pairs off really well with this card's first effect, because if you open with this card and you send it to your graveyard to add Ascension Gate of Serpent Fall to your hand, the moment you send two or more monsters excuse me, the moment you send two or more monsters to your graveyard, this card gets summoned back to your field from your graveyard, and you essentially just can go into a rank 10 depending on what your rank 10 pool looks like, which is pretty cool. And it's also a quick effect, so that makes it even more unique. And then the third effect says you can place one face-up Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Serpent Fall you control to the bottom of the deck, banish your opponent's entire hand, and if you do, they draw the same number of cards. So in a way, this is kind of like, it's kind of like a makeshift Trickstar reincarnation, but it does come as a bit of a cost, where you have to send Ascension Gate of Serpent Fall to your back into the deck. So it is a bit too conditional, but still it's a pretty cool way to force your opponent to literally ash that effect, so they keep all the cards in their hand. So this is gonna be that's gonna be one to wanna be prepared for. But next up we have Baba, Champion Apodrakosis of Wormhaze, which obviously it's green. That means one thing: it is the resemblance of Rayquaza, and it is a 10-star Wind Worm. Excuse me. With 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense, and all three of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads you can banish this card from your hand, add one Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Wormhaze from your deck to your hand. Second effect reads if a monster becomes banished face up while this card is banished, and there are currently two or more banished monsters other than this card, you can special summon this card. Third effect reads you can place one face-up Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Wormhaze you control to the bottom of the deck, add one Apodrakosis card from your deck, grave, or banishment to your hand except this card. This is a pretty this is actually pretty cool because, again, as I said, each of these guys' first effects are so different from one another, but they add their own spell card to the hand. Dino-Crag lets you can shuffle itself back into the deck. Serpent Fall can send itself to the grave from the hand, and then Worm Haze basically banishes itself to trigger off its effect. And not only that with all three, you have multiple ways to special summon them from from your grave, your hand, your banishment, whatever is at your disposal, and that can help you go into a rank 10, or potentially help you summon out the ritual monster that I'm going to bring out right now, which is known as Gwamba Luminous Apodrakosis of Starforge. Which, in a way, looking at it, it actually kind of resembles oh my god, what's that one legendary from Diamond and Pearl? My god. Excuse me. I can't think of it. Arceus. That's what it reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of Arceus a little bit, which is pretty cool. But it is a 10-star Light Dragon Ritual Pendulum with 3,500 attack, 2,500 defense. Its pen scale is 0. The pen effect is a once per turn, and the monster effect is also a once per turn. The pen effect reads: during your main phase, you can add one Apodrakosis card from your deck to your hand, except a pendulum monster, then destroy this card. So this is pretty cool because this is basically your Stratos for the entire deck, where you can add pretty much any card to your hand at the cost of destroying this card, which is pretty cool. But again, it does come at a price. Excuse me. So with this card, funny enough, if you can actually believe it, Pendulum Reborn can actually ensure that this card actually gets summoned, ignoring all of its summoning conditions, which is pretty cool. Let's see here. You can ritual summon this card with Gwamba Luminous Apodrakosis of Starforge. Let's see here. Must be special summoned by its own effect, and you can only special summon this card once per turn. The effect reads: if a monster on the field is destroyed by battle or effect while this card is in the extra deck, you contribute a level 10 Apodrakosis monster. If you do, special summon this card, which is treated as a ritual summon. Then you can destroy up to 2 cards you control, and if you do, place an equal number of Apodrakosis continuous spells from your deck face up on your field. So this is a pretty cool way to add back row. To add back row to where you have floodgates, because I'm under the impression that this deck could potentially have its own floodgates, which will be very interesting. But we now move into the spells, and there's quite a few of them, you guys. So first one up is Apodrakosis World Creation, which is a quick play spell, and both of its effects are a hard once per turn. And the first effect reads: add 1 Apodrakosis monster from your deck to your hand. Then you can add 1 Apodrakosis Pendulum monster from your hand to your extra deck face up. Again, this actually pairs really well with Pendulum Reborn, which is pretty damn crazy. Second effect reads during your main phase, if you control a Apodrakosis Pendulum monster, you excuse me, sorry guys, I'm just like tired as fuck right now. You can banish this card and 1 Apodrakosis monster from your grave. Special summon 1 Apodrakosis monster from your deck with the same original type as the monster banished. So I believe I believe you can actually summon out. I believe. So I believe you could summon another copy of Serpentfall if Serpentfall was sent to the grave, which I think that's how it works. I'm not entirely sure, but basically you're able to just pop off, just combo off and ensure that you go into a rank 10 play, which funny enough, excuse me. Funny enough, there's actually quite a few rank 10s that this deck can go into, and I'm actually gonna show them off right now. Give me 1 second, you guys. Give me 1 second, because Nexus needs to load up, and this laptop is slow as fuck. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay, put that in, and we're in. Okay, give me 1 second, you guys. Let's go deck. Pick a random one. And now... excuse me, we go filters. Go filter, monster, Xyz, 10, that, and now there's actually there are a few rank 10s that you can go into with the Apodrakosis deck. And funny enough, some of them include cards like Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, which is actually a Harpy's Feather Duster, which is pretty cool. Number XX Utopic Dark Infinity. You could go into Cypher X Dragon, but you would literally need to have Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon to summon it, which makes it even more difficult to summon. You could also go into number 99 Utopic Dragon. There's also Sky Palace Gangari Day. Number 81 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Super Dora. And then there's also the last one. The others you can go into are Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. Varudris, the final bringer of the end times. You can go into Ticina, the divinity that defies darkness. And last but not least, number 35, Ravenous Tarantula. So you got quite a few rank 10s that you can go into with this deck. And it basically the number one Xyz monster that you want to go into the most is obviously number 35, because that helps you go into number 84 Pain Gainer, and then just rank it up into number 77, the Seven Sins, which funny enough, it's pretty crazy. So this card basically can almost help you go into your rank 10 plays, which is pretty cool. Now we move into the field spell, which is known as Apodrakosis Ascension Crest of Transmigration. And the field spell has two separate effects, which are both once per turn. And the first effect reads: when this card resolves, take 3 monsters from your deck, a dino, a sea serpent, and a worm. Add one of them to your hand, banish the other, and send the last to the grave. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except dragon, dino, sea serpent, and worm monsters. This card helps ensure that you go into your into your rank 10 plays, which is awesome. Second effect reads: if you have a face-up Wamba Luminous Apodrakosis of Starforge in your extra deck, you can special summon up to 3 Apodrakosis monsters with different types, one each from your deck, grave, and or banishment. again, this is exactly what I was talking about. You're basically ensuring that you get to go into your rank 10 plays, which is crazy. Pretty crazy, you guys. Pretty crazy. Alright, you guys, now we move into the first of the Ascension Gates. So this one is Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Dinocrag. And it has three separate effects. The first one reads you can only control one copy of this card. The second effect reads Apodrakosis monsters you control gain 300 attack. Third effect reads Apodrakosis pendulum monsters and level 10 or higher monsters whose original type is dinosaur you control gain this effect. Once per turn, when the effect of a monster on the field with less attack, then this card is activated. As a quick effect, you can place one Apodrakosis continuous spell you control on the bottom of the deck, negate the activation. So in a way, you have yourself like a mini solemn judgment. So in a way, this is kind of a floodgate, if you will, which is pretty crazy. Then of course we have as well Ascension Gate of Serpentfall, and just like the first effect of the last card, you can only control one copy of this card. Second effect reads, your Apodrakosis monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Third effect reads, Apodrakosis pendulum monsters and level 10 or higher monsters whose original type is sea serpent you control gain this effect. Once per opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can place one face-up Apodrakosis continuous spell you control to the bottom of the deck, target a card on the field, return it to the hand. You basically have yourself a compulse, which is pretty cool. And then the last Ascension Gate is Worm Haze, and again you can only control one copy of itself. Second effect reads, any monster sent from the field to the grave during your opponent's turn is banished instead. Third effect reads, Apodrakosis pendulum monsters and level 10 or higher monsters whose original type is worm you control gains this effect. Once per opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can place one face-up Apodrakosis continuous spell you control to the bottom of the deck. They target a face-up monster on the field, change its attack to 0. So with Dinocrag, Dinocrag, you have yourself an a sort of like a mini imperm, if you will. Serpentfall, you have yourself a compulse, and then the third effect, and then the Worm Haze, you basically have a way to just drop your opponent's monster's attack to 0, and also you also have yourself a Dark Law, which is pretty cool as well. And then the last new card that is in this archetype is known as Apodrakosis Eternal Recurrence of Trilokia. If I can somehow... There we go, finally. And it is a normal trap with both of its effects being once per turn. The first effect reads, special summon one Apodrakosis monster from your hand, deck, or grave, but return it to the hand during the end phase. Second effect reads, you can banish this card from the grave, then target one Apodrakosis continuous spell you control or in your grave or banishment, place it on the bottom of the deck, then draw one card. This is pretty cool because it's a great way to reset your back row in a way where you can take all three Ascension Gates continuous spells, back face up into your back row, and also this card also lets you get a free draw, which is pretty cool. Not too crazy, but what's even more interesting about this archetype are the reprints. So the reprints are Senju of the Thousand Hands, Planet Pathfinder, Arch Nemesis Protos, Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, which I talked about earlier, and World Gears of Theorological Demiurgy, which I believe that one has a bit of an interesting effect. Give me a second, guys. I think that has a bit of an interesting effect. Give me 1 second. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I don't think I've ever talked about that card on the channel. Here we go, Wikipedia. Let's see what this card does. Oh, maybe I did. Maybe I did talk about it. Yes, I did. Okay, okay, I thought so. Yeah, I did talk about this card. Dark Cybers Link 3, 3500 attack. Arrows are middle left, bottom center, middle right. And it requires three level 5 or higher monsters. Cannot be used as link material, and this link summon card is unaffected by other monster effects. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During your main phase, if you control this card that was link summoned using 3 monsters that had 3 different types and attributes on the field, you can destroy all other cards on the field. If your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, except during the damage step, special summon a World Legacy from your deck. Oh my god. Yes, I completely forgot about this card. This card almost changed the game when Dark Neostorm came out. So it's pretty cool that this archetype has a lot of potential, but for a lot of like meta boomers out there, like a lot of like meta gamers out there, they'll probably look at this archetype and say, oh, this archetype sucks. But I think once we get more support for this archetype down the road, I can guarantee you that this archetype is going to completely change the game for good. It's gonna be interesting to say the very least. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be down in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.